Good day, learners! How are you? I hope you are in good condition and ready to learn a lot with me. Welcome to Valenzuela live streaming. I am glad to see you again, my grade 7 learners. Be with me as we dig deeper to the wonders of English 7. This is Mom Janelle, and I will help you learn English well. For today's episode, we will focus on our most essential learning competency, which is to react to assertions made by the author in the text. At the end of our discussion, you are expected to formulate predictions about the contents of the text, identify the author's intentions for writing, and discover literature as a tool to assert one's unique identity and to better understand other people. Have you ever experienced reacting to the claims or assertions made by others? Have you ever argued with someone because you have different reactions on a given assertion? What did you do when someone says something? This lesson is created to invite you, our dearest learners, to learn to react on the assertions of the author over the stories they wrote, whether to accept them as they are or go beyond to the literal meaning they presented. Analyzing the assertions made by the author would make you think critically and learn to give sound judgment. Before we continue discussing about assertions, let us recall the past lesson about using verbal and non-verbal cues in giving and receiving information. Choose the letter of the correct answer or response for each statement. Number 1. It is the act of giving or exchanging information without using any spoken words. A. Non-verbal communication. B. Verbal communication. C. Gestures. Or D. Eye contact. The answer is A. Non-verbal communication. Number 2. It means conveying a message through oral or written form. A. Non-verbal communication. B. Facial expression. C. Verbal communication. Or D. Body language. The answer is C. Verbal communication. Number 3. It is a type of non-verbal communication involving postures, gestures, and touches. A. Eye contact. B. Facial expression. C. Body language. Or D. Non-verbal communication. You got it right. The answer here is C. Body language. Number 4. It conveys the 6 most recognized facial expressions, which are surprise, fear, anger, disgust, happiness, and sadness. A. Eye contact. B. Facial expression. C. Body language. Or D. Non-verbal communication. What is your answer here? Very good. It's B. Facial expression. Number 5. It is an act of moving body parts, usually arms, hands, legs, as means of expression. A. Facial expressions. B. Vocal distractions. C. Gestures. Or D. Eye contact. Good thinking. It's C. Gestures. How many correct answers did you get? I know you are more eager to learn about our topic for today. Like what I've said, our topic is to react to the assertions made by the author in the literary piece of writing. The writers make an assertion about life and about the literary works like a story, a poem, or a play. Their assertions encourage the readers to support their interpretation and perception. However, learners should also learn how to react to the assertion made by the author by means of agreeing or disagreeing to it. Through this, the learners are able to think critically and positively. But what is an assertion? Do you have any idea about this word? You may share it in our comment section. If none, don't worry. Mom Janelle can help you. When someone makes a statement investing his strong belief in it as if it is true, though it may not be, he is making an assertion. An assertion is a stylistic approach or technique involving a strong declaration, a forceful, confident, and positive statement regarding belief or a fact. An assertion is a statement used to make a declaration or to express strong belief on a particular topic, often without evidence. It can be formulated after reading a story or a poem, or even after watching a play. We have different types of assertion. Let's discuss each of them. Types of assertion. Basic assertion. It is a simple and straightforward statement for expressing feelings, opinions, and beliefs, such as Filipinos may have eaten in most expensive restaurant in Europe, yet they could not overcome their yearning for the patis. Father, I want to marry Thea. Emphatic assertion. It conveys sympathy to someone and usually has two parts. The first encompasses recognition of the feelings or situation of the other person. And the second is a statement that shows support for the other person's viewpoint, feelings, or rights. This is the acknowledgement of another person's situation or feelings, followed by a statement standing up for your rights. We can have the following as our examples. I saw the devastated places affected by Typhoon Ulysses. I plan to launch a donation drive. I cannot do it alone, so I need your help. My daughter was frustrated by not able to go out on her own due to this pandemic. Yet, once this is over, she can freely go wherever she wants. Escalating assertion. This occurs when the other person fails to respond to your basic assertion and continues to violate your rights. You gradually escalate the assertion and become increasingly fair. It may even include the mention of some type of resulting action on your part, made only after several basic assertive statements such as, if you are not going to complete your module by tomorrow, I'll be forced to call your parents' attention. I language assertion. It involves the first person pronoun I and is useful for expressing negative feelings. Nevertheless, it constructively lays emphasis on a person's feelings of anger, such as, my classmates and I did not like the new boy, David. It was not because we knew he was a bad boy, or because he had done any one of us any harm. We only knew we did not like him. When you speak harshly, I cannot work with you because I feel annoyed. Therefore, I want you to speak nicely and then assign me a task. When I don't get enough sleep, it affects my nerves and I feel irritated. Therefore, I try to go to bed earlier. We are done in discussing some of the types of assertions. Let us now move forward in discussing how you'll react to the assertion of the authors. How do you react to assertion made by the author? First, by agreeing to the author's assertion. Readers just accept the author's assertion. Second, by disagreeing to the author's assertion. Readers react negatively to the author's assertion. Third, by stating that the assertion is true or factual. Number 4, by stating that the assertion is just an opinion of the writer. And lastly, by predicting outcomes based on the author's assertion. But why writers use assertion? Assertions are emphatic direct statements. Because assertions are to the point, they leave little room for confusion. Therefore, writers use them to clearly convey information to their readers. Assertions appear in many different genres as a way of expressing passionate statements of belief, communicating information clearly, or building a persuasive argument. Readers make assertions about literature, and literature makes assertions about life. When you are asked to make an assertion for a text of a literary work, a story, poem, or play, you are actually being asked to make a claim and argue about what the text says about a life situation. A work of literature can have more than one possible meaning, and your assertions try to persuade your audience to accept your interpretation of its meaning using a particular perspective or way of seeing the work. The question is, how to make assertions in a reading material? First, read carefully. Read the text several times and jot down your thoughts. Analyze by formulating questions about and responding to all the elements of the type of literature you are reading. Fiction, drama, or poetry. Focus on one or two elements for your interpretation. Second, organize your assertions. A literary analysis may have multiple assertions, but all assertions must relate to the main thesis or central claim in the introduction. Make the topic sentence of each body paragraph an assertion related to the proposition. Follow with evidence from the text and explanations to support your assertion. Third, dig deeper. The formalist approach to literary criticism considers only the text itself as a way to discover meaning. It explains how the formalist approach expanded with approaches from history, culture, gender, and other areas of study can yield discoveries that are not obvious. Fourth, test assertions. Assertions must be plausible, if not totally convincing, and they must also be backed up by evidence. Look in the text for evidence to the contrary of what you assert. I know you are more ready to answer our tasks for today. You may get your pen and paper to do our work, or you may share your answer in our comment section. But remember, have respect at all times. Activity 1. Identifying assertion. The following lines are the assertions made by the author. All you have to do is identify what kind of assertion is used by choosing the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. Elders know everything, and I have all the time in the world to tell you about it. A. Basic assertion. B. Emphatic assertion. C. Escalating assertion. Or D. I-language assertion. The correct answer is A. Basic assertion. Number 2. I pity my mother for enduring the abuse she experienced from my father. I won't let the history repeat itself. I'm going to leave my husband who hit me. A. Basic assertion. B. Emphatic assertion. C. Escalating assertion. Or D. I-language assertion. The correct answer is B. Emphatic assertion. Number 3. If you are not going to treat me fairly, I will report you to our superior. A. Basic assertion. B. Emphatic assertion. C. Escalating assertion. Or D. I-language assertion. The answer here is C. Escalating assertion. Number 4. Although combining diverse learners may seem difficult and taxing, I'd prefer that way because they develop strong camaraderie by reaching out to those who are left behind. A. Basic assertion. B. Emphatic assertion. C. Escalating assertion. Or D. I-language assertion. The kind of assertion for this item is D. I-language assertion. Number 5. As a teacher, I have always tried to teach the mind, touch the hearts, and transform lives. A. Basic assertion. B. Emphatic assertion. C. Escalating assertion. Or D. I-language assertion. For this item, the answer is A. Basic assertion. Activity 2. Making prediction. Read each situation and predict what will be the outcome of the situation. Choose the correct answer. Number 6. Erwin was warned by his mother not to go out of his home without wearing a mask because the patrol car may go around the area to arrest violators of the order or pay the fines of 1,000 pesos. Erwin thought it wouldn't do him any harm going out without mask since he was just 4 houses away from his home. Suddenly, a mobile patrol passed by him. What do you think will happen? A. Erwin was able to hide. B. Erwin ran to his house. C. Erwin was reprimanded and paid the fines for violating the order. Or D. Erwin cried his heart out. The prediction for number 6 is C. Erwin was reprimanded and paid the fines for violating the order. Number 7. Jenna and Jared were offered jobs abroad. They were eager to sign the contract without reading its contents. When they met the employer, they were shocked to discover the irregularities of the contract. What do you think Jared and Jenna will do? A. They will accept their fate. B. They will blame each other. C. They will seek for the legal rights. Or D. They will be very careful in signing contract in the future. The prediction for number 7 is D. They will be very careful in signing contract in the future. Number 8. The king hated Prince Bantugan because he was loved by the people around him. He envied him so much, that's why when the prince left to defend his country, an evil idea crossed his mind. What do you think he will do? A. He looked for a material wife for Bantugan. B. He prepared a great feast for Bantugan. C. He issued a proclamation that no one will speak to Bantugan lest he wanted to die. Or D. He prepared a throne for Bantugan. The prediction for number 8 is C. He issued a proclamation that no one will speak to Bantugan lest he wanted to die. Delia and Jim were both excited for the coming beach party. Both bought swimsuit ready for sunbathing. On the way to the beach, they heard a loud rumbling from the distance. The wind began to blow and dark clouds drifted in. What will happen next? A. The rain began to pour. B. Delia cursed the weather. C. Jim was disappointed. Or D. The sun appeared. The prediction for number 9 is A. The rain began to pour. Number 10. The thief sneaked into the house while everyone was sleeping. He was unaware that a bulldog was sleeping soundly at the door side and accidentally stepped on its tail. What will happen next? A. The dog bit his leg. B. The dog died. C. The thief got away. Or D. The thief robbed the house. The prediction for number 10 is A. The dog bit his leg. How many correct responses did you get? Fantastic! I am happy that you gain more understanding about our lesson for today. Do you have any question? This is your time to post your questions, and our teacher moderator will gather them, and I'll answer some of them later. Post them now. Sending your questions to us. In case your questions will not be addressed today, don't worry, it will be answered and discussed by your English teacher during the follow-up discussion. So I'll start answering our first question. What is the purpose of assertion in reading? The function of assertion is to let readers to feel that they should not disagree or dispute what they read or hear. Rather, they should accept the idea or notion as an indisputable fact. It has proved to be one of the best approaches for writers to express their personal feelings, beliefs, and ideas in a direct way. By using this technique, writers can defend others' feelings and rights if violated. This rhetorical style also expresses self-affirmation and rational thinking of personal respect or worth. It is very common in various fields of life like literature, politics, advertisements, and legal affairs. Next, let's have question 2. What is the difference of opinion and assertions? Thank you. An opinion is the personal judgment or view of a person about an issue or topic. An assertion is a statement used to make a declaration or to make a firm belief on a particular topic. If an opinion cannot be proven as true and a fact is true, a statement that is somewhat true and somewhat false is called assertion. An assertion may be somewhat similar to opinion, but it can be proven as true or false. And for our last question, how can we make assertions when we read? Thank you. These steps actually can help you in making assertions when you read. Remember to read the text carefully. Organize your assertions by finding the central theme. Dig deeper for message beyond words. And test your assertions by looking for evidence in the text. Thank you for all the questions related to our topic. I know you are more ready to answer the tasks in your module. Again, thank you for your active participation. This has been Mom Janelle telling you to keep safe and have faith. See you again in our next Valenzuela live streaming.